Greetings fellow hunters and welcome back to my channel. I'm JBiz Hunts and today's video is a moose herd management guide as a companion video to the step-by-step herd management tutorial. This guide will specifically be about what to look for when starting your herd management moose grind. Let's go. Moose can be found on 5 maps on Call of the Wild: Leighton Lakes, Medved Taiga, Yukon Valley, Reventuli Coast, and New England Mountains. The most popular map in the community to grind moose is Medved Taiga due to the great visibility at the drink zones and that the lakes and rivers are frozen, which makes running to collect your harvest a breeze compared to running around the perimeter of a lake to collect or having to find a place to cross at a river. I have seen fellow hunters set up grinds on Leighton and Reventuli as secondary options and have done very well. I have set up 2 grinds but have reduced it down to 1. I started it on Leighton Lakes, but because moose share a home range similar to whitetail and you don't have to check all bodies of water for zones, I decided I would rather do a whitetail grind on Leighton since moose are very hardy and can run 150 to 200 meters with a vital shot, and that brought me to Medved. On Medved, I can easily run across the frozen river or lake to retrieve the harvest, which canceled out the fact that moose can drink at every water source on Medved. I have found 140 zones personally on my Medved map, but most will find between 120 to 140. Leighton will have over 100, and I've seen some members on the community say that there are over 200 on New England mountains. What makes New England and Yukon more difficult is that they can be found all over the map with large water systems that can be sometimes difficult to track down your kills. Now that you've picked the map that you want to start your grind on, it's time to find your zones. Moose drink between 12 and 16 on all maps. Moose are a class 8 animal, which means you could ethically harvest them with any class 4 to 8 rifle, but because they are so hardy, the best guns to grind these big guys are the 300, the 338, and the 7mm. I personally use the 300, which I found on the Yukon DLC map, but costs 75k in-game to acquire and a high rifle score. The second best option would be the Tsurugi 338, found on the Hunter Power Pack DLC, as it has a free in-game cost and no high rifle score to unlock, and you can start your grind right away. Moose go to a max level 5 and can make diamond frequently at level 4. They have a max weight of 620 kgs, however, if you are lucky enough to spawn a great one, they have a max weight of 700 kgs. The diamond trophy rating is 274.99, so if you have any level 4 bulls that look bigger than normal with a 275 in their trophy estimate, I would say they are diamond potential animals. Their rare fur variations to keep an eye out for are piebald, melanistic, and albino. When you are discovering zones, I would be placing tents on top of zones that have 2 or more big bulls. What I would consider to be a bigger bull would be bulls that are level 4 who have the best potential to respawn as a bigger 4 or a 5. I would also be looking for drink zones that have great visibility as well. If they have big bulls but are hard to see, trees in the way, etc., I would be looking to shoot down those zones first. With moose specifically, you want your main shooting zones to have at least 2 bulls and 2 cows, because if you shoot down your zone to 1 cow, the bulls will not respawn. Secondary zones will be zones having 1 bull and multiple cows, or zones that are just poor visibility or have already been discovered, shot down, and already managed. Unlike whitetail, that usually have 1 or 2 shooters per zone starting out, moose zones tend to have 1 or 2 bulls max, and sometimes they are already level 2 and small 3s and can be left alone. One zone I would love to set up on are when herd zones are 250 to 300 meters away from each other and you can place a tent down directly on top of each indicator. This allows you to fast travel, shoot, fast travel to retrieve, and shoot the zone you just left. I would also keep an eye out for zones like this. There are a lot of solo zones with moose and some that are female. Since the trophy score and great ones are sometimes under the diamond score for moose, I chose to only manage solos if they were max weight estimate bulls 545 to 620 kilograms and left all level 3s and below. You could choose to manage all solos for a higher max level respawn rate. I chose not to. Most videos will tell you with moose to not shoot level 1 and 2s, shoot your level 3s and 4s, and stack your level 5s. I wish it were that simple, so instead I will break it down for you here. You do not shoot your level 1s and 2s unless they are in your main shooting zones at the end of your grind if you have no other bulls to shoot. I've shot many 2s who randomly respawn in my main shooting zones at the end of my grind. You do not shoot small level 3 bulls that have a level 2 weight estimate and antlers that look like branches and treat them like they are level 2 bulls. You only shoot level 3 bulls that have wider palms on their antlers. At the start of your herd management, it is essential to stack level 5 moose in your main zones and max weight estimate level 4 bulls with a diamond potential rating. I honestly think with moose, more so than whitetail and fallow deer, you want to pay attention to their weight estimates, which will be the biggest indication on what they could potentially respawn from your kills. In this section, I have pictures of a level 2 and a small level 3 bull to show examples of what I would consider a small 3 moose to be and how they look alike. 2s typically don't have palms on their antlers, and their antlers look more like branches as seen in the picture above. Here is a level 3 moose that has the same antler configuration as a level 2. Both will score under 130 trophy score when harvested. To manage down your moose population quicker, it is best to skip shooting these bulls in your secondary zones and solo zones. Level 3 and higher bulls with palms in their antlers, as long as their antler on each side is wide and resembles a palm tree palm compared to a branch without leaves, then I consider that a shooter in regard to herd management. The ideal bulls you want to be excited about are level 4s with a max weight estimate of 545 to 620 kilograms. Those bulls have the best chance to make diamond at level 4 or respawn as a max level bull. If you do your herd management correctly at the end of your grind, you are down to your final zones. You will be rotating a max weight estimate bulls at each of your final zones most of the time. Unlike the whitetail, fallow, and red deer grinds I have done in the past, where all the respawns are for the most part consistent, I have found that moose are the most inconsistent animals. Sometimes I'm waiting 2 to 3 rotations before their respawn shows up. Sometimes it's best to check the whole map again, and by doing this I have found a few zones that have broken off, or zones that have now have 2 males when they used to only have 1, and set up on those zones again and added them back into my rotation. I once found a max level diamond bull in a zone I've shot down weeks before. I have since added a step to my grinding process that after 250 to 500 harvests, depending on the consistency of respawns, I do a quick scout around my map. Unlike fallow deer as an example that can have a max weight estimate buck at level 3, moose only have max weight estimate bulls at level 4. So when I'm grinding and I find 2 level 3s in a zone and must decide who I shoot first, I go with the higher weight estimate bull first regardless of the estimated trophy score. I've been finding that the higher weight estimate bulls have the best chance of respawning as a level 4 or higher. If they are the same weight estimate, then I target the largest trophy estimate. The picture above shows a max weight estimate bull. Unlike fallow and whitetail deer that can drop on the spot from a 250 to 300 meter shot with a broadside shot, moose can run 200 plus meters on a vital hit. I set up my tents at 250 meters from their zone and then set up a tripod at 175 meters from their zone. You can run to the tripod without spooking the moose herd. I want to be as close for the best penetration and accuracy since I can set my zeroing to 150 meters. To make your grind more efficient, the easiest way to do this is by aiming for heart shots. I find the easiest way to get the moose in position is to call the bulls in with the collar and they will walk towards your tripod. When they stop, they will give a great frontal shot. That's when I aim in the center of their chest. If done correctly, they won't run far and drop a few meters away. This step will make your rotations more efficient as you are not running 200 plus meters to harvest your kill. As you can see in the video where I'm aiming and how easy it is to drop the moose with a heart shot. I challenge you to check your harvest screen and look at your shot placement and the placement of the animal's heart. To find a more in-depth look at the herd management process in general, I would suggest to check out my herd management video. The link will be in the description below. With this information on moose combined with the herd management step-by-step guide, your moose grind will hit new levels. I'll leave you with this video of my first 300 scoring diamond moose that I spawned using herd management during my grind. Please like and subscribe for more content.